Meet the family farmer who helped save Seattle's offense. The Seattle Seahawks rookie left guard, Grey Zabel, might have been my favorite prospect in the entire 2025 NFL draft. Not just because he was the most versatile lineman in the class, but also because he co-runs his own family farm and did so during his entire career at North Dakota State. This was also arguably the best overall fit of the 2025 first round, as Zabel's presence as a highly intelligent run blocker, a physical finisher, and a trustworthy protector has helped save Seattle's offense. We'll be joined by staff writer and Seahawks expert Michael-Shawn Dugar for more on why Zabel's been key to the Seahawks' run to the Super Bowl. Let's start by looking at Zabel's run blocking. All right, Seattle's running the ball inside here. We're going to get two double teams right over the ball from center guard, center guard. Zabel is the left guard. These are the two most important blocks on this play. The other most important blocks are going to be the climbing action here from center and guard, as you're going to want to give the running back more options in terms of his cuts based on how those linebackers go. For Zabel, number one is going to be not to let the three tech get across him. Number two is to get upfield into the second level with patience and control to get downhill on this linebacker as fast as he can. Where he becomes special to me is when the linebacker takes a weird path and kind of goes around his block and creates an opportunity to get inside and blow the thing up. Zabel doesn't allow that to happen, though. He finishes the play. If he doesn't finish that block, you can see how easy this whole thing would get blown up. But he does. He finishes, knows where he's going, gets just enough at 53, and is allowing Kenneth Walker to get upfield for a first down. Let's bring in Michael-Shawn for more on Zabel's presence in the run game. First question I have for you, how have you seen his impact in the run game specifically this year for the Seahawks?
Yeah, Grey Zabel's a great athlete, and with this wide zone, perimeter-based run game, you want guys who can get out in space, who can go reach linebackers very quickly, who can pull and set edges and really be those road graders out in space. And Gray's great with that. He fires off the ball, very fast, very agile. And the Seahawks are a really tough rushing team. You know, they look forward to, like, all right, it's 4 minutes on the clock. We got the lead. Let's go pound these guys, even if they're going to stack the box and things like that. So Gray has had a big impact on why their run game has come around late in the year. You know, the fact that he hasn't hit a rookie wall. You know, he's had his bad games, you know, against some all-pro and elite defensive tackles, but he just continues to get better and better and better, and he doesn't look like a rookie, you know, in January, which is huge. That's why they've been able to run the ball at the time when every team in the league wants to be able to run it.
Let's take a look at how the farmer is also a physical finisher. All right, we're just going to watch Zabel in protection here against Kobe Turner, really athletic defensive lineman for the Rams. And the first thing that we're going to note is his technique. The second thing we're going to note is his balance, and the third thing is his finish here. Being able to put all three together is really what makes the difference with him in pass protection. First thing there, right off the ball, you can see the left hand is fired out into Kobe Turner's chest, just underneath of the face mask, no penalty there, into the chest. So he's going to dictate how this thing's going to go one way or the other. There's not going to be any messing around or any kind of arm moves from Turner. So Zabel immediately gets the arms under control and the chest under control, absorbs, knees are bent, hips are sunk, right arm comes through, and then at this point, he's able to just drive and finish. He's going to get some help as Turner's going to trip a little bit here too, but drive and finish through the ground. Great pocket for Sam Darnold. He's able to complete the throw for a first down. If we run this thing back and run it all the way through, you can see it full time. Left hand starts, right hand comes through, and then he just drives and finishes. He's a really, really smart player who watches a lot of tape, understands what he's trying to do against everybody he's working against, and then has the physical ability to stay with balance and then drive and finish. Back to Michael-Shawn for more on how Zabel has helped Sam Darnold and Seattle's passing game. He has solved, an immediate problem for them. I'm curious, has Sam Darnold said anything about Gray? And I know the coaches have in terms of his ability to come in as a young guy, like you said, and just immediately solve an issue for the team right away and help Sam Darnold kind of become what everybody thought he could be.
They talk about his maturity. They talk about his mindset, which I do think is important. And Gray gave us a little bit of a window into why he's been good this year is because he knows, all right, I went up against Jeffrey Simmons. I took an L on that play. Let me just go to the next play. That's fine. I went against Kobe Turner, took an L. Let me go to the next play. I'll beat him on that rep on the next play, and so on and so forth. He played a lot of good defensive tackles this year. He practices against Leonard Williams, who's an all-pro defensive tackle. He's gone against Calais Campbell, who's still good at 97 years old. He's gone against him multiple times this season. So he's going to take his losses. Right? But what he remembers is, and a reminder he got from Charles Cross, their star left tackle this year is, hey, Gray, those guys get paid too. They're going to beat you sometimes. And they will. Gray's gotten beat this year. But he has the mindset of, all right, I got beat. Cool. It's 3rd and 7. Let me just not get beat. Let me do my job. And that helps a lot. Corners and offensive linemen kind of have to have that mindset in the NFL. You know, they're the guys that gravity works against them in physics. They go backwards. That's tough in football.
Yes.
And they're going to get beat. They're going to give up a catch. They're going to give up a sack. But all right, now it's the next play. And it takes a little bit, I think, for young guys to get that, especially young guys who are drafted high, because you're just not used to giving up a catch if you're a top 10 corner, right? You're not used to giving up sacks if you were a top 10 left tackle or a first round center or guard. But you got to get used to that in the NFL and not let it shake your confidence. And I think that's the thing that guys have spoken about most with Grey, is that he just doesn't shake. He's unflappable, and that's just rare for rookies at any spot, but particularly for offensive linemen and corners, I think.
Now we'll look at why the rookie has been so trustworthy for the Seahawks. Okay, here we go. Grey Zabel in protection with the game on the line. Ball's at the 10-yard line, in the shadow of your own goalpost, less than 5 minutes to go in the NFC title game. Quarterback really needs to trust his pocket and everybody in front of him here, and Zabel's going to make it happen. He just completely eats this by himself, no help. Stands in and allows Sam Darnold to get all the way across the field to his last read. Kenny Cutback makes a play, first down, Seahawks. And the drive goes on, and it ends up clinching the game for them, right? Huge play here, huge trust in a rookie to come up big. And then we're going to watch Zabel through the rest of this year as he follows the ball. Okay, 76 all the way through. And he's the first guy to Walker to pick him up and congratulate him after the big play. Outstanding player, outstanding talent, culture guy all the way through. Perfect fit for the Seahawks, Grey Zabel. Let's go back to Michael-Shawn for more on Zabel's reliability and what it means long-term for the franchise. His IQ, to me, was always off the charts in terms of football. We know that he played every position in college. How has that and sort of the maturity you talked about with his mindset allowed him to sort of fit in with the locker room and the culture?
The thing about Grey is he knows ball, but wants to know even more ball. That's the thing. Like he has a thirst for knowledge. Like in training camp, he's going in pass rush drills, and he may lose a rep or he may win a rep. Let's say he loses a rep. He'll go to Leonard Williams like, hey, how'd you set up that inside? You got me on that move. How'd you do that? And then Leonard will let him know. And then they'll go back and forth, you know, and that the iron sharpens iron type of idea. And you could even see Gray's had some viral clips this year where, you know, he's talking to Calais Campbell. He's like, hey, man, you're not going to get me. I saw on tape that you do this move, and I set up for that. Like, I'm good. You're not going to get me on that. You know, a good back and forth between a young guy and a vet. And perhaps the most significant moment of the year this season was on the sideline. Grey Zabel told Leonard Williams, he's like, dude, you're getting all these center slides. So why do you keep taking the inside move? You should just crash the B gap to the outside. Just crash it. Yeah, and you'll get there. And then Leonard was like, you know what? I'm going to try that. And he tried it, and then he got a sack on Brock Purdy in the divisional round on 4th down. He just crashed the B gap. You know, that might be the first time I've ever seen something like that, where a rook can tell a rook who played at North Dakota State as well, telling an all-pro guy who played at USC and been in the league for over a decade to say, hey, man, here's how you should do your job right quick. And he said, yeah, you know what? You're right. That's why the Seahawks are here, because they have a ton of those cross-positional, cross-sides of the ball relationships.
Nicky Manwari might have been the biggest steal of the 2025 NFL draft, but Grey Zabel was actually the best fit. The Seahawks had one of the best drafts of any team in the NFL last spring and are back in the Super Bowl in large part because of it.